So here we are, Cities of Sigmar's Dark Elves in Misthåvn. I'm going to be playing with the Dreadlord on Black Dragon as the general with Unparalleled Duellist, which will do mortal wounds to enemy units that target him and fail to hit with melee weapons. I'm going to have two Sorceress in there. One's going to be the one in the front, looks like She-Ra a little bit. Is going to be having the Anklet of Epiphany for the added range on spells. She's going to have Tenebrael blades, or like I like to call it, tendril blades. And then the other one's going to have Umbral Hex, trying to get some big battle shock tests on. So with the general being the Dreadlord, that's going to make the Drakespawn Knights here, BATTLELINE. I have 3 units of them. And then I'm going to have 2 units of 3 Drakespawn Chariots, with a unit of 20 Executioners and 1 unit of 10 Blackguard, bringing me to 1970 and taking the Geminids of Uhl-Gysh.
Hello here. Today we've got Cities of Sigmar, all Dwarven except for 1 Steam Tank Commander. We've got our general today will be the Warden King here. He's going to have a mighty lineage, and it's going to give him the ability to do Strike Last on an enemy hero within range of him. Hopefully that'll pair nicely with any hammers that are within 12 of him, because he can double activate them. So it'll Strike Last on a hero, could come in good. He'll have the Artifact for the Book of Grudges. Lets him pick 1 enemy unit on a 4-up. Get +1 to hit for all Dwarven units versus that unit. The Steam Tank Commander here will have the Artifact Glimmering to reroll 1 hit, wound, or save roll for the bearer, once per phase. And we'll have prayers on the guy here with the flaming tongs. Will be the rune of unfaltering aim. Which will give +1 to hit for missile weapons. And then the green caped rune lord will have the rune of oath and steel, and that'll be a -1 to wound for a unit wholly within range. We had a unit of 3 gyrocopters, 1 gyro bomber, 2 units of 10 hammerers, 1 unit of 20 iron drakes with the Grudge Raker torpedo, unit of 10 longbeards with the ancestral weapons and the shields for a 3-up save, and then 1 unit of 20 iron breakers. And that'll bring us in at 1950. We're going to keep it easy for the first time playing, and we're going to take it at Greywater Fastness. So lots of all-out attack, +1 to hit all over the place. And there we go. Alright guys, today in this Cities of Sigmar face-off, we're playing Lines of Communication. 3 objectives across the center. The disruption is the twist on this one at the start of each battle round. After players are choosing who will take first turn, the player going second can choose to disrupt a phase. And then 3-up and additional command points can be spent for any command. Abilities, regular 1, 2, more scoring. And both of our grand strategies, which we didn't mention in our list rundown, is Banners Held High. So here's your deployment over here. What we got?
Kind of playing it as a counterpunch army. Got the screens up with a 3-up save from Drakespawn Knights, keeping my Chariots a little further back, but still far enough forward to be something to think about. That's the idea.
Okay. And I've got over here, got kind of a strong side deployment. The majority of the army is on this right flank. We've got our Iron Breakers in the front here, 3-up save. Got the Drakes behind them, long beards for the battle shock, and some cover there. 2 units of 10 hammers over here with the Warden King. This flanking unit of 3 gyrocopters. On this side, we've got the Steam Tank holding strong with a gyro bomber as a QRF force for his little bomb dropping and zipping around. So, kind of making a play for these 2 right objectives here since we're slow. Kind of stay together. And you finished dropping first.
Yep, gave you turn 1.
Alright, we're going into City of Sigmar Dwarves. Turn 1. Okay, here we are. End of turn 1 for Cities Dwarven side with token Steam Tank Commander. We took our Surround and Destroy battle tactic. We moved up our gyrocopters on this flank. The Steam Tank ran. We did his overpressure for run and shoot. And the gyro bomber back here, holding in 6. And we got our battle tactic. We towed in on this objective and this objective, just barely. Did some running, did some orders. We got off our prayer for +1 rend on the Iron Breakers here. And we shot at the Dreadlord on Black Dragon. Did 6 damage with the Steam Tank Commander. Used all that attack for free from the Greywater Fastness. Scored 1-2 more. And going into the Elf turn.
End of turn 1. Took my battle tactic was strike without warning, charge with 3 Cites of Sigmar Elf units. I charged with the Drakespawn Knights, the Dreadlord on Black Dragon, and the unit of 3 Drakespawn Chariots. Charged with the Knights first, got Tendril Blades, as I'm going to continue to mispronounce that, off, and I got the Geminids, put it on the tank, prevent redeploy, unleash hell, etc., and charged in, did 16 mortal wounds on impact with the Chariots, taking the tank off the table. Those were my 3 charges. Decided to play a little bit more passively, hiding behind my Drakespawn Knights over here on this side. Could have charged, decided not to see where the turn shakes out. And scored 1, 2, and more, and 2 for the battle tactic for a 5-5 for the end of battle round 1.
Had a small redeploy, 5-inch redeploy over here with these guys to make the charge a little bit more difficult there. Alright, turn roll for number 2. We have 6 on the Dwarven side, 5 on the Elf side.
Elves.
Probably should be a Dwarf turn before we get taken out. Okay, here we are, end of the Dwarven Cities of Sigmar turn. We got a lot of blood. A lot of stuff have changed. Did some shooting. We took off most of these Drakespawn Knights to get the screen out of the way to try and get to those gentlemen right there. And we shot 1 off into the Dreadlord. The Grudgeraker torpedoed, a little bit of damage there. Shot with the copters into the Chariots. We removed the Chariots from the combination of the shooting from the copters and then this unit of 10 hammers made it in and pretty much waxed them. That's pretty cool. Then promptly on his activation with these guys, they just, I don't know, did like 22 damage to the Ironbreakers and like 14 mortal wounds or something. So that was pretty crazy. So that lost us the center objective, causing us to only gain 1 objective instead of more. We took Intimidate Invaders as our battle tactic, which puts us to 8-5 going into bottom of 2. Elves.
Okay, into the movement phase, I moved fast, speedy boys from over here using my Misthåvn movement. Then did my movement phase, and now everything's kind of closing in. And we're about to go into the shooting phase and do some charging right after that, because that's how the turn sequence works, in case you forgot.
Battle tactic you picked
Was Intimidate the Invaders.
Yeah. The noose is tightening! Our little dwarf butts are puckered.
End of bottom of turn 2 for Elves. I took Intimidate the Invaders, successfully completed that. I did some Misthåvn movement from the right hand to your left. Side of the board over here. Got my charges in. Was only able to get 2 chariots into the Iron Breakers? Iron Drakes? Iron Drakes. And didn't kill them in impact, but they ended up battle shocking off at the end. I issued strike them down through one of the Sorceress over here, and then from the Dreadlord. That went on this unit of Knights and the unit of Executioners. So that gave them fight first. I was able to activate 3 units before he swung back, killing his 2 Rune Lords and the unit of Longbeards. Then
we did initiate shield wall, but we didn't even get through. We had like 16 mortal wounds, and we only rolled 3 on the 5-up boards.
Yeah, pretty rough as far as averages are concerned there. I remember my shooting this time with the Chariots. Did a few little planking shots here and there, and just saved them all. Then at the end of the combat phase, I went ahead and issued Swift Disengage with the other Sorceress and retreated the Executioners. I wasn't thinking about the objective when I did it, but retreated off the objective. I believe we're...
I've got 4 on there, so I own it. It doesn't do anything for you.
But I still own these 2 on the mid and the right hand to your left. Scoring 1/2 more in my battle tactic for 5 points this turn.
10 to 8, and a roll off to just talk it out. All right, and we'll just talk it out and give you guys a final score for an elf victory.
All right, end of the game. I would be able to get all 3 more battle tactics between Mount the Charge, Surround, Destroy, and Magical Dominance. Completing the game with, how many points?
28-13 for the elf victory.
Yeah, it's a fun list. I think there's room maybe for a levitate in it to get the chariots over lines, and because they're giant, take up so much room that it's gonna be hard to fit them everywhere. But the Geminids really helps out, and with redeploy and unleash hell and stuff like that, that worked out really well. Happy with the list. Charge damage. It's got a lot of damage. It's got some tank. It's got some a lot of little plays here and there. First time playing cities ever. Didn't play Old Book at all. Always had a sweet spot for Drakespawn. I was afraid that they were going to be sent to Old World, so I actually bought a box before the new cities book came out, and it turns out they're actually pretty decent. And then after that, I just went ahead and picked up some more stuff. And here we are with my Cities of Sigmar Elf army. One of the coolest models that when I first got into Age of Sigmar, like 6, almost 9 years now ago, it really piqued my interest, and finally got around to playing them. So very happy with them. Good game.
Thanks. Yeah, first time for me playing the new cities. I did have cities and all these dwarf models in the last book. Didn't play them too much after Greywater Fastness, just completely garbage. And yeah, the order system is going to be something to take some getting used to. 5-up ward shield wall seemed like a good idea. I don't know. Steam tank got taken out. No real fun there. He did a little bit of shooting at the beginning. Misthåvn's pretty fast moving. Maybe try that with some dwarves. But didn't want to double up on the factions for the video. And here we go. So yeah, we'll try them again. See what happens. Got a couple human units working on. Let us know what you guys think.